Lions TV, good afternoon from the weather's not too bad. I was going to say a wet and windy Deepdale. How are we doing, everyone? Give it, as usual, a little bit of time to start. People join in, and then we'll have a really quick chat. I don't want to talking so quietly because there's literally no one sitting around me. Are we in? People are liking, people are joining. Good afternoon, welcome. This is on, my phone's struggling a bit. I've started doing the full-time reactions on a little camera, but my phone's not great, so sorry, the visual isn't going to be great. The weather could affect the stream, but we thought we'd have a little pop. We are unchanged today from a team that drew 1-1 at home against Fulham in midweek. It was expected on my account. Probably a lot of you are thinking the same. 7 substitutes, but we do not have Mason Bennett amongst them again, which is frustrating. I'm starting to worry how far away from fitness he actually is. I think he's 12 to 13 games left after today. But it's an unchanged side for us. 3-2-2-2-1 formation. As of yet, there is only the goalkeepers out warming up. Declan Penny, if you're watching, you'll be in dreamland because there's cones everywhere. A little bit of a private joke there. Any questions? Any suggestions? Any score predictions? What are we all saying? Peter Copland says, how you feeling, Dan? Like shit, mate, but thanks for asking. Bit of a bladder infection this week and it's been killing me, so I was laid up yesterday and today. Sorry, as I said, the visual isn't fantastic, but I've dropped my phone so many times that the camera's a little bit steamy. I'm due an upgrade in the next month. Also, my glasses are new, the Ronnie Crays are new and still adjusting to life with my eyes, so I am struggling to see those at the minute. I'm starting to focus in now. Roaring Lion says, am I going Chelsea? He's obviously referring to the Under-18s FA Cup quarter-final, Thursday the 27th of February, 7 PM kickoff at Stamford Bridge, an initial allocation for the Lions of 1,000 tickets. Bennett's at the game, someone said. Yeah, Bennett's at the game. Obviously, you'll usually have a 19th man in a squad, and Millwall, especially under Gary Rowett, seems to have more than that. Around 21 players have travelled, which means three of are effectively the 19th, 20 and 21st men. Joe Wright, the under-23s keeper, is one of those. Billy Mitchell is another. I didn't actually check I didn't overly check out the subs actually before I went on to live stream, which I should have done. There was a little bit of a hold up outside me getting me ticket, so all I looked for was Bennett. Bennett's not amongst the subs, which is annoying. 2-1 Millwall, Smith and Jed. I've just had a little flutter myself. Marlon Romeo to score any time is 40-1. Tom Bradshaw to score any time with a Millwall 2-1 win is, what was that one? 23-1. So I've had a little fiver on both, and the beers will be on me back at the hotel. The weather's not bad at all, really. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it currently is, but the worst of the weather is scheduled to hit Deepdale, Preston in particular, between 3 and 5 PM tonight, which is obviously prime time for the games. Someone's saying that Mason Bennett done his ankle in the 45th minute of the game for the 23s. I'm not sure he did. Come on, you Lions, 1-0 Millwall. Someone says no chance Preston are going to make an example of us. Preston are a good side. We saw that especially at the Den last season. This season, obviously, we're beating 1-0. On the opening day, Jed Wallace got the goal with a Connor Holmes assist, if memory serves me correctly. But I wasn't overly impressed with them. But obviously, they hadn't got going yet under Alex Neil. They didn't spend heavily in the transfer market during the summer, and he went with the players that got them, a good run towards the playoffs at the back end of last season. It will be a tough test. We're due a result here. We haven't had a result here since we've been back in the Championship. First year back in the Championship was a drab, dire 0-0. I was here that day. I'd take a 0-0 to be fair though. Another point is another point in the ball. We're definitely safe this season. Hello mate, you right?
Yeah, buddy.
Someone's trying to cut the stream.
You've got a press pass, man.
No, but I'm only filming myself.
You're filming yourself. Is this for a vlog or something?
Do our fan chat, that's all. I won't fill the game or...
Yeah.
I'll cut it in about 20 minutes. Early doors bollocking from a steward asking if I've got a press pass. No chance of one of them round here. tell him to do one, Dan. Well, I didn't do that. Shit myself, didn't I? I was nice and polite. You've got to be polite in this day and age. My opinion on the new look stadium. Listen, the pictures that have gone out is the pictures that have gone out of the new look stadium is it's making it look like there's more work than that's actually being done. They're going to fill the corners in. They're going to extend on top, and what was I going to say? They're going to bring the Barry Kitchener stand out, obviously, but yeah, it's not as in depth as it currently looks. The amount of work that's going to be done. The original stadium will still exist, and it can only be a good thing. Not only will it increase the stadium capacity and give us a little bit more ambition going forward, it will also give a lot more employment around the area, obviously with the extra seating, the extra restaurants, the extra bars, hotels, and a lot of housing as well. So it can only be a good thing for the club moving forward. As you can probably hear, the players are out. We are in yellow today. We'll be struggling in the yellow of late. When I start zinging a few shots in here at the keeper in a minute, I'll switch the camera around and let you have a little look at them. England Lions 81, does that say 2-1 Cooper? First goal. A question about snooker there. But yeah, what are we thinking, boys and girls? What are we thinking prediction-wise? Oh, it's a little bit better if I come further away from the camera, but I'm struggling to see the comments. If I do. For me, on the back of Wednesday's result, you can't really argue that the team that started is going to keep its place. It was a good performance against Fulham, and I feel if we assert ourselves in the same way today, we could go one better. I really feel that today's our day. I don't know why I do keep saying that though in away games. Stoke and Sheffield Wednesday, we was the better side in both those games. We just needed that little bit of magic in the final third, and if that, you know, if Jed's not in his game, then we do struggle to create. We can't keep blaming that on Jed and pinning that on Jed. We need to find other ways with our players of creating chances and scoring goals. And I feel like today we might just ground out a little win. The pitch is in very good condition, unlike ours. I'm not expecting a massive home crowd, not expecting a massive atmosphere. Around 700 odd tickets I think we've sold, so if people can get up here, obviously there was going to be a problem with the trains, etc. But we should do alright today, I'm confident. I've got a funny little feeling that this one could go against the run of form and we could get our first win on the ball since we beat Reading at the Den 2-0, not Reading. Yeah, it was Reading. John Danny Bavarston scored against his own goal. I'm talking about Bavarston for him to follow up his good form today. He did play well. He had a better than average game. It's the best game he'd had for us. Let's have it right. And unfortunately, although he's not as clinical as Matt Smith, he doesn't score as many goals as Matt Smith, he will work probably better in that three of Jed, Bradshaw and himself, Bavarston. Matt Smith is an impact player to come off the bench for me and play central. In Matt Smith's defence, we say we don't get many balls into the box. We ship the long diags occasionally for him that Steve Morrison used to absolutely goal and vulture up, I was going to say. I'm not sure what that means, but that's what happens when you're live. But yeah, I mean, Bavarston, he's not my first choice, but the gaffer obviously likes him. He had a good performance last time out, and I'm hoping he can build on it. I really genuinely hope that he can build on that. I somehow managed to burn my hand on the seating in front of me. We are, we're about half an hour away from kick-off, actually. Let's have a look. We are 36 minutes away from kick-off. Not many people actually in the stadium as of yet. The rain is starting to fall a little bit more freely. I'm going to stop talking for a minute. I'll still look at your questions. I'll answer them from behind the camera, and I will show you the pitch and the players. Whee! Warming up, right, that one. Hang on, let's have a little spin up. Here we go. Lee Goldfish says, Woods was different Garvey. I think you mean different gravy, mate. Jake Jones says, do you think Millwall can get into the playoffs, mate? That is a massive opportunity for a steal. And we all keep saying the playoffs, and I keep saying the playoffs. But unfortunately, you know, if we don't make it, it's not the end of the world. Martin Roberts, Martin, I did a bit of filming earlier. I've only left me Parker indoors on potentially one of the coldest days and wettest days of the year. Storm Dennis is apparently on its way, and I forgot my Parker this morning. I was too busy making sure I had my pillow to get some kip on the way up here, which didn't happen. New stadium, someone just asked me, yes or no? Yeah, I'm all for it. Listen, progression is a wonderful wonderful thing, and we don't want to get left behind by the times. Yes, it is 34,000 all seats, and people are correctly saying, well, where are you going to get the other 20,000 seats from? But what you've got to think of is you will always generate new fans, and that may be not what everyone wants to hear, but unfortunately that's progression in life. And if people don't want the new ground, the extension of the existing ground, then I can't work out why. I will do a video when I get a little bit more information. People have been asking for it. I'll do a really in-depth video on the new regen of the ground, the existing ground, and I'll probably incorporate the best one of all the old den as well in amongst that. Francis Pendlebury says it's on the radio via Millwall FC website, but only in black and white. Black and white radio, you alright, mate? George Pierce says, do you think we will permanently sign Jason Malumbi? Absolutely 100% not. Jason Malumbi will probably want to go back to Brighton and try and force his way into the first team. He's had a very successful loan spell with us, and he'll be looking to push himself to the next level. Unfortunately, if we was to buy Jason Malumbi, I'm hearing it possibly could cost us around the £5 million mark. Connor Tobin says, Forest just scored last minute 2-2. Who are they playing, mate? Early kickoff. Is it Birmingham those playing? It's Vinny says, I'm playing West Brom. All right, fair enough. Could have done West Brom winning that, really. But Jake Jones says, Millwall need a new centre midfielder. Someone else says, will we sign Ryan Woods? I think Gary Rowett obviously rates Woods from his time when he signed him for £7 million from Brentford for Stoke. He was Stoke captain under Rowett in Ryan Shawcross's injury absence, and I think Gary Rowett will do everything in his power to sign Ryan Woods in the summer transfer window. Score prediction, I'm going for a 2-1 Millwall win. Bradshaw and Romeo to get the goals, and I've backed that in my bet. Marlon Romeo to score any time is 40-1. I've stuck a fiver on that, and I've done Bradshaw any time and Millwall 2-1, which is 23-1. A fiver on that. James Beckwith says, I would prefer Malumbi over Woods. I do understand what you're saying there. We've seen a lot more of Malumbi. Don't forget, we need to see more of Woods. Woods has come into the side, didn't have a lot of time before he was thrown into the mix, obviously, with Sean Williams suspended, and it will take him time to adapt to not only his conditions and his new surroundings, but it's going to take him time to get match fit and back to his best. So I think for how little time Woods has had, he's done superb. Malumbi's obviously had a very good run of 25 to 30 games, and I think once Ryan Woods has 25 to 30 games under his belt, he'll be absolutely flying. Two different types of players. Malumbi's more of a Millwall-esque player, isn't he, with his battling, his tackling and his never say die attitude. Ryan Woods is a bit more of a technical player, very good with the passing, brilliant passing range. I like the way he took responsibility at Sheffield Wednesday. Messi to the den. I think he get in, mate, to be honest. How do I think Ben Thompson will fit in under the new gaffer? Well, Ben Thompson came into the side, under Gary Rowett's first game in charge. Don't forget, Ben Thompson scored the first goal of Gary Rowett's reign as Millwall manager in a 2-0 victory against Stoke. So I think, the gaffer already seen what Ben Thompson's all about. I think he'll be first choice once he's back. And we have missed Ben Thompson with his forward thinking. I rate Williams as a player, I rate Malumbi as a player, and I rate Ryan Woods as a player, but they all are very, very similar type players. Sorry, I'm shouting over the wind here and over the tannoy announcer. Does he not know fucking noise TV's like? What's wrong with the guy? But I hope you can still hear me over the noise. Jake Jones says Jake Cooper is a brilliant centre-back, I agree. It's Vinny says, what are my thoughts on Conor Mahoney? Conor Mahoney should be our best player. He showed in pre-season what he's all about. He showed at Birmingham last season what he was all about as their young player of the season. I think one of the best players in the Championship last season at such a young age. Bags of potential, full of ability. Watch Conor Mahoney in a minute when they come over and start shooting. Conor Mahoney's picking stanchions out for fun in the warm-up. Like, it pains me to say, he frustrates me, and we don't see what goes on in training, but he's not getting in the side, so Gary Rowett can't be overly pleased with what he's seeing, so I'm thinking. Chaos Luke says Jim Wallace isn't on TV, so no showing off. I know what you mean, mate. How do I feel about Cardiff being above us? Let's spin it round. Hello, welcome back to my ugly fat head. Cardiff, listen, Neil Harris left our club, not under somewhat of a cloud, he left our club at the perfect time for himself and for the club. But I think a lot of people's memories and judgment of Neil Harris is cloudy because of the way we played. It did leave a sour taste in some of our mouths. But, oh Martin, by the way, still representing, and no one likes to say, mate, still representing. But unfortunately, I've got a North Face jacket on. Neil Harris left, and when he left, it left a bit of a sour taste in the fans' mouth because under him, it wasn't pretty to watch. It wasn't pretty at all to watch, you know, and he was very direct. We gave teams too much respect, allowed them too much time and space on the ball, and that left a little bit of a sour taste in our mouths when he left, I'm sure. But when you look at Neil Harris's record as the Millwall manager, absolutely superb. And I'm hearing the Cardiff fans don't like the way he plays, but again, you've got to look at how they've been getting on under him. I think they've had one heavy defeat, a 6-1 away at QPR. I don't think they've lost many games other than that. I think they had a little bit of a dodgy situation for the FA Cup match, and they ended up going to a replay, I think, against, I'm not sure it was against someone in the lower league. But other than that, okay, their performances may not set the world alight again, but their results you can't argue with it. You absolutely cannot argue with it. And they're doing well under Harris. Good luck to him. Fair play to him. I see a lot of hate for Harris on social media, and I can't understand why. It's Vinny again says, how do I think Murray Wallace is coping at left back? I think Murray Wallace is a brilliant player for us. I think he has stepped into position that's not his natural position, but I think he's better at left back than he is at centre half. I don't think he gets a fair amount of praise from our fans. He isn't ever going to bowl you over with tricks and overlapping down the wing and getting crosses into the box, but neither does Shane Ferguson, and he plays left midfield. Murray Wallace gets forward when he can, but first job's first. He primarily defends, and not a lot gets past the big dog, the man mountain that is Murray. His goal scoring antics have dropped off a bit this season, as have Jake Cooper's. But listen, he's not there to score goals. He's there to defend and keep things quiet down the left-hand side for us. Obviously, the opposing team's right-hand side, and I feel he does that very well. And don't think he gets the amount of praise that he does. Big Murray, Muzza, what they call him. Should Alex Pearce really be captain? Yes, he should really be captain, and not only for, but maybe not for his appearances on the pitch. Look, Pearce is solid. He's a definite leader. I can tell you that 100%. Pearce is a life and soul in the dressing room, and he keeps that camp buzzing. 1,000,000%, I can tell you that. But that's all I can tell you. I can't do any more than that. But Alex Pearce has got all the players' respect. Not only that, he's an absolute character in and around the club, apparently. I've heard some fantastic stories, some brilliant stories about Alex Pearce. But obviously, I will not disclose them on Lions TV and fear of getting in trouble. But only positive things, brilliant stories about Alex Pearce. A real character in and around the club. And as I said, all the players know he should be captain. He runs that dressing room. And good luck to the skipper. 3 centre halves, I think, for us is definitely King. All right, mate. It's King YT. Here he is. Get on this guy's YouTube channel. There he is. Don't be shy. How you doing, mate? How you doing, mate? You all right? What do you reckon, boys, today? Don't be shy, King. Same team from Wednesday.
You know what, I'm feeling confident, to be honest.
How you, mate?
Right,
Jury result here, isn't we?
Yeah.
Give us a score prediction. Score 1-0 to us. 2-1 to us. 2-1, 2-1, 1-0. And Kingsmaker said if he comes in, he's going to buy the beer, so that'll be a result. What's happening? We're 20 minutes deep, 112 people watching. I will turn it around. The players look like they're going to line up some shots. I'm backing Conor Mahoney and sticking him with a stanchion during the warm-up, but not so much during the game. The weather's not bad at all, as I've already said. Not a bad little stadium. The pitch is in a lot better condition than ours is. Who's the goalkeeper? The big dog Bowl Kowski's got an hat on. Not used to, you'd be used to the cold conditions in Poland. Oh, just nearly took the Stewart's egg clean off. The blokes who commentate on the games for me will do a brilliant job. Yeah, that is, what's his name? Cole Bates and obviously Billy Taylor works for the club. Yeah, they're good, the old iFollow boys. They're a little bit, they're not biased towards Millwall, but you can tell they're Millwall when they're doing a commentary. Yeah, they are a decent little pairing, to be fair. I'm not sure why the game's being streamed today. If anyone's streaming it, right, obviously we'll not be streaming it due to copyright constraints. That won't be going on. Anyone know a stream site? Right on Cube says Connor Tobin. How cold is it? It ain't too bad, mate, to be fair. It's not too bad, which is a result because I left me big No One Likes Us coat indoors today. Get that plug in, Martin. There you go. I feel bad on the No One Likes Us guy today. I forgot my coat. But I don't think people will be queuing up the fan cams there after the game. That's why I don't always do these live streams of, what's it called? Team News Live. There you go. But today I think we'll struggle for content. Not content, we'll definitely get full-time reaction. We'll get a couple of fan cams back at the hotel. Obviously there'll be a post-match analysis. I may even go live tonight to do like a live post-match analysis, a little bit of a live stream. And I'm trying to get a word with, I saw him earlier at Northampton Services, the man, the myth, the legend, the fan of the decade, Mr. Nick Murphy. I know he won't do it on camera, but I might try a little bit of an audio with him. More in line says Romeo to Crystal Palace. I don't think that'll happen. Let's not forget, by the way, James Brown signed a new contract in the week to keep him at the club until the summer of 2021. And I'm pleased with James Brown. He's been at the club a long time, captain the under-23s for the majority of that, been out on loan a few times as well. And it shows you what a difference and what a changing manager can do. New manager comes in, Rowett was a right back himself, likes James Brown. Oh, what a strike for the goalkeeping coach, by the way. The goalkeeping coach has got an absolute zing on him. My boy, Mini-Me loves watching the goalkeeping coach. So if you're watching Henrod, he's just absolutely zing one in on the side of the bar. And if it went to Hawkeye, it would have been given because it's behind the line. But yeah, James Brown now is the understudy right back at the club, currently shaking off an injury. And I think that's why Gary Rowett allowed Jason McCarthy to leave the club. I will turn it around in a minute when the players start shooting. And then after that, I'll probably wrap it up. Obviously, the kickoff is approaching in just over 20 minutes until kickoff. The conditions not too bad, not affecting at all by the pitch. It's quite nicely enclosed here. There's literally no wind whatsoever. It's a good opportunity for us to kick the ball on the deck and knock the ball back lovely. Millwall boy again says Malumbi should be signed, and I said earlier on in the stream that Malumbi almost definitely won't be signed. Not straight away anyway. He'll go back to Brentford. Brentford ain't even see. They might be. Brighton, and he will try and break his way into the first team squad. But yeah, I don't think we're going to sign him. If he can't break into the Brighton squad, he'll probably look to leave the club. But we definitely won't be signing him in the summer. I think there's a lot bigger chance of us signing Ryan Woods. Both of them will be beautiful, but I don't think it's going to happen. Everyone's saying Abdul Malik. They're of course talking about Abdul Malik, the under-18 sensation who we'll be going to watch in a couple of weeks for the under-18 in the FA Youth Cup at Chelsea. Sorry, I've just seen something absolutely unbelievable at the corner of my eye, and I don't want to. Each to their own. I think I've just seen a man dressed up as a woman. Good luck to him. That's what he wants to do on his Saturday afternoons. Woods and Thompson our midfield too next season. Good, yes, very good. Don't forget Billy Mitchell will be in the mix there in and around the squad. With Sean Williams, who's also got a new contract. I think Sean Williams will really help develop Billy Mitchell next year. And Thompson, I think, will be a good bit of experience around the squad. I don't think you'll see Sean Williams play loads of games. Although having said that, Williams just seems to get better with age, in my opinion. The Wanderlino is currently out with a hip injury, so I think Ryan Leonard, I didn't just say check the subs, but Ryan Leonard will be the backup midfield for us. And listen, you know I don't rate Ryan Leonard. I've never been bowled over with Ryan Leonard. And Ryan Leonard looked a little bit off the pace when he came on the other day and completely missed the header. Come off his bowl and went over the bar. But I'm going to cut Ryan Leonard some slack because he's been out injured for a long, long time. And I think it does take time to get back in the fold. And Sean Williams has improved massively under Gary Rowett because we like to keep the ball on the floor and pass it through the midfield. And I think that Ryan Leonard will also be massively improved under Gary Rowett. I'm hoping so. I really do. I don't want any ball players to be bad ever. Time to get off my meat head and watch the players shoot and enjoy. What's that there? An absolute chunk. That's Scalac.
What's that?
Is that Scalac?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go. Wait, watch how good Mahoney is at this, mate. It's unbelievable. The onion bag. What's the onion bag got for us? Powder puff, Aiden. Powder puff, brother. Ooh. What is that? Here comes Gently Upon Thames on the left peg. Oh! Keeper don't need to see that one again.
This is a Grand Slavia